that are in the UK and worldwide. For all of us that have experienced the cold, please stay warm. That's the first thing I want to say. Is in Bermuda, there seems to be what people may call record temperature lows in Bermuda. So to all our Bermuda family and friends, please stay warm. That's the first thing that we need to say. Welcome everyone to the Live Saving Lives conversation. This is our second conversation. Last week we had a conversation with Mr. Iman Gibbons, who is the founder of Pauulu Heritage Institute. We had a wonderful conversation last week. It was all about the importance of the young. It was all about them being leaders and what it takes for them to be leaders and how we empower them. Iman shared a lot of stuff that he does with young people. He's very knowledgeable. So we want to say thank you to last week's guest, Iman, who is also going to come up this week and join us. So we want to say to everyone in Bermuda, thank you very much for the feedback that we got last week. It was all positive, and so we have to do this again. And so tonight we're going to bring up Iman. However, um, Iman's not going to be our guest tonight. I'm going to be Iman's guest. There's been quite a few people that have shared their interest in this Saving Lives Festival. A lot of people want to know about what is it about and, how you get to this point and who's going to be there. So tonight we're going to be able to address those questions, and we are happy to announce that we have um, some of Bermuda's leading community workers and leading entertainers that's going to be at Saving Lives Festival, March 28th at Francis Patton Primary from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Please, people, do not miss out on this event. Do not miss out on the event. If you've ever been to a Youth Vision Promotions event, you know that when you leave there more inspired than when you came. There's never been a person that's complained about coming to one of our events. And that's not because of us. That's because of you all. And when we come together, we bring a level of peace, bring a level of unity, we bring a level of fun, but there's always a purpose in what we do. So, March 28th, Francis Patton Primary School, the Saving Lives Festival. This one's for our young people. We need to see everyone come together because we have to work together to save our young people. The village unites on March 28th. We can't wait to see you. Now, we're going to bring up Iman Gibbons. We're going to bring up our guest from last week. I'm going to welcome our guest from last week. Thank you very much for what you done last week and how you brought this last week. Iman is also responsible for the layout of our platform that we have here. As you can see, is the creativity of Iman and the development of technology that we are able to bring you this. And we want to say thank you to Iman. Thank you very much, Dr. Gibbons, in our eyes. Good night, Seafood Gibbons. Good night, sir. Welcome back to this week's conversation. Welcome
Good
back, my
night.
brother.
It's good to be back.
And and,
Good to be,
and,
always a
and what we
pleasure.
might do is, oh, thank you, man. It's a pleasure to have you on here, brother. And what we might do is we might do this every week. Where Iman and I will actually be the co-host. So next week we are looking to have, we might have the young people on and co-hosting them. So the power of the minds. This is the power of unity. This is the power of collaboration. This is exactly what it takes, and we are showing you how it works right here as we lead up to the festival. So this is how we connect. This is how we empower one another. This is how we use each other's skills. We're going to talk about that tonight because it's important that we understand skills building. Skills building is important to the development of our young people. Doesn't matter what background they come from. If we can help them develop their skills, then they can see themselves in a different light. They see themselves as leaders. So tonight, we're gonna get started. Iman,
Yeah.
please let people know why you're here tonight and what's your
Uh,
whole reason for being here tonight, brother.
well, exactly. So it all started with these conversations. You started to have these calls. You call um, to gather some of your, your faithfuls, and we'd have these Sunday conversations. And, you brought up the idea of having this festival and how we could gather forces together and, under this banner of the Village Unite, organize this festival and have all sectors of the community contributing together, all putting their hands in, putting their minds in, contributing however they can to demonstrate that our youth are the most important component of our future. There is no other asset that is of more value than the welfare of our young people, mentally, physically, and in terms of their whole outlook on life, giving them the stability to have an outlook on life. Because I'm come to the conclusion that's the piece that's missing is that they're not valuing life, like, uh, and how do we get that, reinstill them with an appreciation for the meaning of life, right? What does it mean to be here and having purpose? So I took on this banner. You reached out, listening out in that conversation. This is how I wanted to be able to share what I feel is the important part in addressing in terms of our community, realigning itself with what's important, is being engaged in these types of events. It's being engaged in giving our young people a sense of purpose. So I'm hoping these conversations inspire young people. It helps galvanize their vision, their skills, as you talked about earlier, right? And how we can come together in this collaborative effort to, manifest this an ongoing, because we've been discussing how these conversations and the event can be an ongoing process, right? Not just this one-off festival. And having these conversations, having these discussions, reaching out to the community to participate in the conversation is all a part of it. It's all building up to it. So look, taking on this role you gave me, or we came up with, me interviewing you. Let me give you a few questions. Where did your vision? What did you see when you first started by organizing these calls? What did you envision in your mind for this festival?
Yeah. So um so like you said just now, the objective is for us to focus on our young people. And having worked in this sector for a long time, you know, I built relationships with people from all walks of life in the sector of youth development, youth empowerment, youth engagement. Um, and so I think that it's important that we have this public conversation because a lot of us have the experience, the skills, the know-how to work with young people that many may deem to be unreachable. The truth is that every child can be reached. And I think that we have to understand the importance of collaboration. And that's not easy in Bermuda, We know that's not easy in Bermuda. Um, because of the size of Bermuda, I think that it's important that we really do connect with one another's skills and in each other's strengths. So I know a lot of people in the circle, and I think that you are a leader in the circle. So it was, you know, only right that I actually can visit you. First of all, I can visit you on your place, because again, I've seen your work in action, and I think that reaching out to people that I know have an impact on our young people is important because we need to come together to actually wrap around, in the professional world, we call it wrap around approach. And I think that it's important that we wrap around our child and wrap around our children. And I saw the, I think they had town hall meetings in Bermuda. The national security, the governor, the commissioner of police, they had town hall meetings. I believe it was about three or four of them. I believe they did, and I watched a couple of them. And we already were in motion of meet when these town hall meetings had started. Before they started, we was already meeting, talking about putting on this event. Well, what became evident was that there was a lot of people that wanted to help. There was a lot of people in the crowd. There was a lot of professionals. There was a lot of people that worked, both formally and informally. And the passion for people to help, I think, was there, was recognized. It was like, you know, we needed to get those people in the room together but we need the children in that room. We need the young people in that room. So it was only right that we invited a lot of community leaders that I know to come and let's wrap around our young for probably and publicly. We want to do this publicly. We want to collaborate publicly with this project. It wasn't something where we want to do things therapeutically, program wise, behind closed doors. It's somewhere we want to invite the public to be a part of. And parents are the first contact of our children. So you want parents to get involved. You want parents to bring their children. And because we reached out to a lot of Bermuda's leading youth workers, we got a good response. We got a good response. And so that's where this all came from, was that we needed this wraparound. I know people in this circle. I know I've seen people, help the at risk, high risk, whatever words we want to call them. But the truth is that these are young people. The truth is that everyone can be reached. So that's why I reached out to people like yourselves, because I know that, it works. I know it works in my heart of heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. This is the method, is that it's about relationship building. I'm not been
Yeah.
convinced. It's about making that connection with young people, connection between
Yeah.
ourselves. It's that humanity that's within us that's gonna be the source of our, the solutions. So when you reached out
Yeah.
to us, and took that call and started these calls, you know what I mean, and saw the togetherness that was developing amongst everybody, you could see that there was potential and possibility. I mean, you always knew it, but did it in other ways. It's not like this is some unique,
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
taking the cause together. You know what I mean, and coming
Yeah.
together at this time, at
Yeah.
this moment, under this banner, under this energy. You know what I'm saying? It's not a magical formula. It's just let's make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, so
We
you,
have to
you
do it.
can't sit
Yeah.
back
We have
and
to do it.
wait on the simple things. You know what I mean? To just work itself. So
Absolutely.
we got to make this step,
Absolutely.
even though it's a simple step. We got to do it. We got to come
Yeah.
up. We got to show up. We got to
It
be
has to
present. We
happen.
got to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
in
particularly,
doing
and
that,
particularly for our men. Yeah.
mm,
Sorry, I'm
yeah,
sorry, real quick, and particularly for our brothers, like we have to show up for our sons, our daughters, our nieces. We see a lot of young men um, that we can reach. A lot of young men are leading women into the wrong way or whatever. So primarily, we need to get to the young men's minds, man, of their heads and see themselves different. You know what I mean? And then we can shape leadership in Bermuda. You know, and then so I encourage men, fathers, to really come out, man, and get involved. We have people that's going to be doing little activities of young people. We want fathers to be part of this. We need mothers too. Don't we need mothers? We need them to come out. We need them to come out. But just talking about what you're saying, man, we need fathers to really, take some lead in our children's lives, man, and really let our young men know that they are loved from a man's point of view. And a lot of young men don't hear that from a man's point of view. So it comes across as feminine or soft or whatever that we hear. A man tell a man that he loves him, or his son, a father tell his son. So we need to be more forward with that, particularly of some of our young boys who never felt that. You know what I mean? The feeling of love, the feeling of um, being a part of the family in a leadership way, and carrying on the legacy of his father, his grandfather, the family name, and you know what I mean, what it comes with. And there's just a lot of that that's understood. Matter of fact, you just said it, right? That you and I are cousins, like, you know what I mean? Literally, we're cousins down the line. We come from the same bloodline. So Bermuda, we know that a lot of us are related. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us are related. So it shouldn't be hard for us to pull together. It shouldn't be hard for us to say, listen, man, you know, we share the same bloodline. We actually have the same DNA. You know what I mean? So we know we think alike. Like we want peace, man. We want peace in Bay. We want peace in bro. We want our children. We all came up playing cricket on Baylor's Bay. We live next to Charlie Marshall and Neil Gibbons. Like, it's literally a stern throw away, like the heroes of our time. You know what I mean? Cause like, you know,
hey, that's
heroes
crazy.
get just heroes. You know?
So look, just on that tip, because let me jump in a little bit. That it's amazing how you brought it up, Nerd and Charlie. So look, I had this vision just now. So look, doing a part of it. So we're talking about the Saving Lodge Festival at Francis Pat. A wonderful place to start. That was, you know what I mean. Um,
Yeah.
a centerpiece, definitely for me. Definitely, it has an
Yeah.
act for me. You know what I mean, as the core foundation. So I could tap right into that. But now I'm over here in Smiths,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
this fire is located, right? And right
Yeah.
up, I'm right on Cleveland Country's cricket pitch there. And I saw Charlie the
Yeah.
other day at this event, and all the pieces came together. And look, so we also need to engage in this uh, cricket challenge, uh, batting and catching, batting and catching challenge. Man. I just saw it. No and Charlie's batting and catching challenge. I mean,
Yeah.
this envision like put a whole history into it. Because this is
Yeah.
Limehouse land. This is our land. You know what I mean? The land one. Those two are from that. You know what I mean? They right down there in that little flat. They used to play
Yeah.
burden against each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Batting and burden against each other.
Yeah.
So we set up this little. This happening live, but I'm telling you this. I envisioning this. We're saying that this
Yeah.
good. Oh,
It's
this,
coming to is developing. Yeah. Yeah.
the back
Yeah. Yeah.
this little and that you just brought it up just now, and you know what I mean, and it shows the root of the core because that it was happening at the same time, the synchronicity in that this is all our responsibility, our duty, but it's
Yes.
also a
Yes.
passion
Yes.
to be a part of being in
Yes.
the
Yes.
solution, you know what I mean, and a part of the cause.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tapping
Yes.
into these things, using our
Absolutely.
resources, our local resources of what's around us. How can we turn these into, laboratories to restructure our
Absolutely, my brother.
society? You see what I'm saying? Step by step, youth by youth, student by student, guiding them through this what we is really a war field. They really live. Our young people currently are living in war times. How do you
You
see
gotta be
this?
kidding.
How do you see this Saving Lives Festival addressing that war scene that our young people currently live in?
Right. So you just finished saying it, man. We look up to people, you know, and they didn't have to be perfect people. We know that Charlie and when we say Charlie, we're talking about Charlie Marshall, Gibbons, who were sports heroes in our time. That even when they came around, we respected them. We humbled ourselves in a way. We felt like it was an aura being around these guys. We felt like, when you're in the presence of a Charlie Marshall, you felt like you was in the presence of a celebrity in a way, at one time. And so we, the leaders have to understand the role that we. The leaders have to understand. Listen, every rebel, every at-risk young man, and you're looking at one. You know what I mean? I could go into my personal story, but every young man, excuse me, that comes from this at-risk environment, comes from this at-risk background, comes from these high-risk areas. They each have skills. That's where we have to look at is how do we address it? Is that these young men and women have skills. Some of these young men dancing in the Gambias, you have no idea what environment they come from. The Gambias are saving them. Some of these young men play football because football is saving them. What is saving them? Who is saving them? So that's why we invite the programs that are saving our young people because that works. It works. We have people. Listen, the other day I watched a news clip or I read in the paper or something that between government and police, they had the number of between 200 and 800 at-risk affiliated gang members or whatever they wanted to live, right? 800 of them. So imagine how many more there will be if it wasn't for the Mirrors program, if it wasn't for Gina Spencer's program, if it wasn't for the big brothers and sisters that have mentors for some, if it wasn't for Desmond Crockwell and Youth Vision Promotions down at Bailey's, if it wasn't for the Open Your Heart Foundation of some, how many, if it wasn't for the football programs, the Andrew Bascoms, and, if it wasn't for the programs, a lot more young people would be involved and a lot of negative. So the solution is in us. Our young people are not the problem. That might come across as controversial. Our young people is not the problem. They are a result of the problem. They are a result of the system that's broken. They are a result of the academic system. They are a result of the welfare system. They are a result of substance abuse. They are a result of the the neighborhoods that are encouraging. They are a result of the music that's being played. Our young people, the the way you train a child up to go, they will go back to that. That's what they know as adults. So we, the adults, have to create the environment in which our young people can thrive. Iman just said it. Our greatest resource is our young people. They are not the problem. A young person has all the potential in the world. They can either go right or they can go left, depending on what the environment encourages, depending on what they see, depending on what they model. And so we have to be mindful as adults. Do we gossip around our children? And I go back to our men, brothers. It was a time where we empowered one another. We empowered one another. Now we're more competitive with one another than anything. In Bermuda, there is this sense of competition amongst leaders, male leaders in different sectors. We come together if it's a clash at a dance. We're clashing. Sports, it's competitive. The envy and jealousy because of, we envy people because of the respect they have, money they have, the woman, the car they drive, the clothes they wear. We get envious, man. We get envious, and it wasn't always like that. So don't believe that it was always like that. Man, I'm just naturally competitive or just natural. No, it wasn't always like that. We built the workmen's clubs. We built the sports clubs. We built the societies. We built the lodges. We built the recreational center. It wasn't always competitive. Some men had 2 and 3 families when they were building the structures, the infrastructure. Nobody was envious of who you go with, what you done, and who did. You got 2 and 3 families. Nobody cares about your personal life. What we focused on was you have a skill. Bring a skill on here, Britt. You have a skill. Bring a skill on. And let's bring our skills together so we, to get to you, we have somewhere to go. We want to help out that child to the right. That's how the society started. They wanted to help out the community. They built up funds to give back to the community. Are we even thinking like that? How can we build an infrastructure within our communities in which our children can thrive? How is Bayless Bay Cricket Club being used for our children to thrive? How is Hamilton Parish Workmen's Club being used for children to thrive? How is Devil's Hill Workmen's? I mean, I go up the Hill Island.
But
We
let's stop.
hardly
But let's
see
focus. Let's
beautiful
focus on these ones. Damn ones right there.
in our area. In our area, right?
All right.
Let's just talk about because this is an example of what. Look at White Hill Field. There's no youth. The building got blocked. No, that's one of the most picturesque fields, entertainment venues. I remember when they had the circus up there. You know what I mean? Like it's. I'm talking about how we have gone back from setting up infrastructure. Just in Hamilton Parish alone. I'm talking about Hamilton Parish because that's where we're from. That's where we're from. We're from Hamilton Parish, Bayless Bay. We live, well, our forefathers, my forefathers, because Iman is still connected there, lives there, house there, and all of that. We actually live a stone throw away from Francis Patton Field, from the same field I'm talking about. The same dock we used to go on and jumped on sometimes and swim across to the island and
Yeah.
jump off of the rocks and all that. The same areas what I'm talking about. We don't see 10 and 15 children leaving cricket clinic to go jump off the dean together. So where's the infrastructures in the communities that's been saving our children? Where is the infrastructure? Where are the men coming together to say, you know what, let's build an after school center. Let's take over that building over there. Let's renovate that building. I don't care if it's my backyard. I don't care if I have an actual. People started out within the houses. Sunshine League got started out like this by a
Exactly.
woman that said, I want to help these young people. I'm gonna take them in, and then we're gonna build from there. So what I see is us coming together to saying that we need to come up with the infrastructure in which our young people can thrive. It might not be a physical infrastructure right now, but we can come up with the framework in which we can lead it. And there's other people that are leaders. That's what we have to put aside, is our egos. We can come together because what I can teach, someone else can.
Exactly.
Everyone has a skill. Everyone has a skill that can be reached. I'm talking about adults as well. We all have skills. When a person passes away, the last thing we talk about are the skeletons. The first thing we talk about are the skills. It doesn't matter what they done in life. It doesn't matter how bad we thought they was in life. When they pass away, we look at their skills and we realize that this person was valuable. This person was valuable to somebody because of their skills. Whether they was a good mason, they was a good electrician, they could have been a good rider, they could have been a plumber, they could have been a footballer, they could have been whatever it is that they were, is what they were remembered for. All of a sudden,
So,
nobody remembers them for being a drug addict. All of a sudden, we remember that they was a thief. All of a sudden, we remember that they was. So we have to look at our young people like that. No, you have skill. Forget this thing about nobody can be reached. It's absurd.
so
So
look, on
that's why
that
we're doing
note,
this.
'cause we're getting about to around the 30 minutes. The that I think what's coming out of this and what you're saying and what I'm envisioning and how this I know it is something that is a vision you had, you know what I mean, that's manifesting, and then you ask for collaborations or whatnot. So, I'm envisioning a part of this, and you could see what in this last few minutes, what you see. So he's talking about this celebrating the past, so that we connect the generations, right? So Neil and Charlie, I think that's resonating with me specifically. Being celebrated, having an activity, celebrating their accomplishments, but that collaboration even between, and look, have this a tournament almost come out of it. Could be on this day we have this tournament, or could be that we talk about it at this tournament. Uh, 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 Two aside, you know what I mean? Two aside cricket, you know what I mean? Type of
Double
tournament
wicket, double wicket,
again, double wicket,
double wicket.
double
Yeah,
wicket, double wicket. Learn and Charlie challenge.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Under this,
yeah,
and we can celebrate the two of them, and then we can have different. We can look at different little. You know what I mean? We're celebrating in the
yeah,
country lifestyle, culture. These
yeah,
the appearance of double stands, long stands. You know what I mean? Celebrate that history of them, but also embracing the the youth, a way to engage them in cricket more. And you know what I mean?
excuse me.
So have this event, have a little double wicket at the you know what I mean, at the tournament. What do you think about that? And what other events
I
will
think
you
that
be?
is a good idea. No, I think it's a good. I think it's a good idea. Let me say that, like, I was the youth director at Baylor's Bay, right, for about 8, 9 years or so. So we actually had double wicket tournaments, and that was fun for the young people. And that was creative, right? And I'm talking about young people that come from at-risk environments. I'm talking about the young people that come from at-risk environments. You go up to Cottage Hills and you get pipes by. You go around Monte's house and you get his nephew. You go around Fly and Flip's house and you go get his children there. I used to do that, right? You go down of Harlem and I'm gonna get Kujan from Jack and see him and them guy telling them, come on, baby, let me go get the beach. So we actually done that, right? So when people say, how you do it,
See,
you go to the houses where the young people are, end up being encouraged to do the ignorance, and you tell these, like, listen, brothers, I'm coming to get the young people. And they respect you. You will get respected for it, right? And you go there and you say, listen, we have activities that are gonna build your skills. When you look, some of these same young people were playing cup match. We had the traders playing cup match that came from one of those high risk environments of Cottage Hill. This man played, and all of them, all these young people, they were never caught up in the ignorance. They didn't get caught up in the ignorance, you know. So having said the Euro cricket ideas, I think it was a good idea. But tonight we're going to talk about. I mean, before we get out of it, because tonight is all about letting people know who's going to be at this event, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because we can do another event, a double wicket cricket tournament, and we're going to recognize Charlie and Mill, and we actually had a father-son one. We can go into that next week. Next week we're going to talk about potential events and activities that can bring people together. We're going to have young people say they may be able to be creative and say, you know what, let's go do this and let's do that. But having said that, that's an excellent idea because we used it 20 years ago, and it worked. It worked. Put up some trophies, medals, fun castles, this snowballs, and the young people come together. The young people, they see themselves differently. You know, it was so amazing how we was able to get people from all around parts of the island. Sorry, go ahead.
So we had a father-son double wicket.
Brother, we have so many events and you know, I'm getting excited to it, right? Because this
Right,
works.
that's the
Like
excitement.
we had oh man, we had some people that, at that time, young people, they had the talent, right? We had biscuits by, we had duggies by, we had treaders by, we had these young people they can activate, right? They can activate. These young men were known as sportsmen, but they were also known as people that were disrespectful. Young people, young people. Treddy Gibbons was known as rude when he was younger. But he loved that trading out here for each other, man, that he wouldn't, he wouldn't hesitate to come out. Allen Douglas Jr. was near as real. But he loved that he had and he respected he had. It wasn't, it was easy to get him out here. Detroit Smith, I'm talking about real youths. These guys know they love and respect. And I could call their names. I like to call their names, right? Without any repercussion of these guys, the love and respect that was built over time. That I ended up playing football with Dougie last year and I'm teasing him because I'm way older than him. I'm out of kick the ball. But the love, man, and the respect that we here because the camaraderie was that, from my point of view, you know what I mean? That we do, we can inspire these younger men. You know what I mean? We can, and then they turn around and inspire us by the accomplishments that they have accomplished,
It's
the
contagious.
things they have achieved. You know what I mean? And we're proud of them and we're happy for them. And, so if we want young people to respect us, we have to put in time. That's what I'm saying. We have to put in time with them, man. We can't walk on the other side of the street because they got saggy pants. You know what I mean? We have to go across that street and ask them, your good nephew? Because that guy might be hungry or something, and we would never know. He might have these skills that we've never seen. He probably don't have a belt, couldn't afford a belt. Or the belt probably just broke. Well, his environment has told him that sagging pants makes me look decent. So we have to be very, very mindful that interacting with our young people is going to help them see themselves different. It's going to help them see themselves different. And if we leave them and we let them go and run and kill themselves and all that, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. You know, we can't fear our young people. And this is going to go on for another 5 minutes, please, cousin, because I just want to speak about that real quick, right? We, and I speak about us black people, respect is everything to us. Everything. It's not money, because a lot of us didn't come up millionaires. It's respect. You disrespect me and I'll fight you. I'm going to get respect from the elders, so I'm going to fight you. I'm going to pull on. You know, it's respect. Somebody else can have more money than us. They can have more money than us. But if we got the girls and we got this, then we feel that that's what gets us respect. 15 children for 5 different women. We think that that gets us respect because it shares a lot of these girls. The respect. So we shoot each other, we fight each other because you disrespect. I'm gonna get respect. You're gonna respect me, Reggie. In any other culture, education is what gets you respect. I've said, I don't know if I said this last week. Education is what gets you respect. Teach somebody something, educate someone on something. And it doesn't have to be textbook education. It's skills building. What skill you have? Let me help you develop this skill. Let me give you opportunity to use this skill. Let me invest in your skill. Let me help you develop this. It's skills building. We believe intimidation gets us respect. I'm going to threaten you. Even though I can't spell, can't read, can't write, I'm struggling myself with my education. So I'm not going to get respect through education and articulation. I'm going to threaten someone, intimidate someone. That's how I get my respect. We need to get out of that because you reach a certain age where you can't intimidate people that's coming behind. Everybody that's been murdered has been murdered by someone younger than you because you reach a certain age where you're not intimidating nobody because you got tattoos on your neck. These guys will shoot you. Tattoos and all, they'll shoot you. You're not intimidating me. And we all came out like that. All of us came out. Once you reach a certain age, the people that used to intimidate you, you either got away from them or you will snap on them. Because there comes a time where you're not going to be intimidated. And the older we get, we're going to realize that we can't intimidate people together here. Us. First thing we want to do is intimidate someone. Look at him, I'll do this and I'll do that. And they don't know me. And we can't, we're struggling as a people with education and articulation. But we can fight and we can shoot and we can kill and we can stab and we can chop and brag about it. How are we educating our young with their skills? March 28th, I'm going to end with this, everyone, because I'm going to let everybody know right now, this is the drop of who's going to be at the event, who's going to be at our festival. Some of our leaders in this relationship building sector. Let me let everyone know, we invited by 20-something different organizations. Our target was between 10 and 15, because this is our first event. So we do want to make sure that we get this right. We got 10. We're hoping to get another 3 or 4 confirmed back from this that we have here. But these are the people that help with skills building, educating our young people. Doesn't have to always be textbook. We got Miss Gina Spence program. I want to say thank you very much. I'm saying Miss Gina Spence, the Gina Spence program production, formerly known. And I want to thank Dr. Gina Spence. I want to thank Miss Jerry and Ken. And I want to say her name is Mikey Jens, which is Dr. Gina Spence's daughter. I want to thank them for their relationship and the things that we talked about. I want to thank them for their support and their encouragement. They will be there with some activities, I believe they have for building relationships with our young people. Definitely resources, definitely knowledge, definitely accessibility, definitely wisdom, definitely love, definitely knowledge. Please come out and have this conversation with Dr. Gina Spence's family. And I'm talking about a professional family, which also includes our biological family. They have a story as to why they do what they do. Why do you do what you do? What works, Dr. Spence? Come out and please people, please interact and engage. We have the Mirrors program. Everyone knows that the Mirrors program is a leading program when it comes to skills building, self-reflection in particular. I've had the privilege of volunteering for the Mirrors program. Everyone that's going through the Mirrors program and has finished and completed the Mirrors program can admit that it is a self-reflective, skills building program. What works? A lot of us may not have that privy of asking, and I want to thank. Let me thank Miss Kim Jackson. I want to thank who I call Angelina, and I want to thank Miss Stephanie Lee. I want to thank Miss Stephanie Lee because they were the ones that have okayed um, the MERS program to participate. And the conversation that Stephanie and I had was one that was very productive because Stephanie is one that understands skills building, relationship building, activities that very valuable when it comes to relationship building and seeing for young people to see the best of themselves, see themselves in a different light. We don't know what backgrounds they come from. So MERS program will be there with their exhibits, with their activities, resources, accessibility. Please come along and talk to the Mirrors program family. Ask them what works, and I guarantee you they can tell you what works. We have the Bermuda is Love group. Bermuda is Love is headed up by Mr. Aaron Critchlow. If you have not heard about Bermuda is Love yet, they are a community engaging group. They actually help feed the hungry, particularly our young. They go to these schools. They are engaged in these schools. And I believe recently Mr. Critchlow had taken this up full time. This is a full-time commitment when it comes to saving our young. We need to come out and talk to Mr. Critchlow and support the Bermuda is Love Foundation, organization, group, however you want to call it. Please, people, it's so important that we actually bring these groups together. This has probably never been done before, where we all come out publicly in unity. We have the Moms group headed up by Sister Nikki Ferry. Headed up by Sister Nikki Ferry. If you don't know her story, and I want to say thank you to Sister Nikki Ferry for taking on this invitation. If you don't know her story is one of strength and survival. The reason why she does what she does is because she wants to save our young people's lives, save their lives. She has gotten her qualifications in relationship building. She has overcome, she doesn't have to have just her formal qualifications. She has some life experience qualifications that others would not be able to relate to. We need to support Nikki Frederick. We need to support her and her organization. And I want to say thank you very much again to Sister Nikki. This is saying that the fairness freezing. Sorry, I just wanted to address that just now. So we want to support Sister Nikki and her organization because the people that's part of her organization have taken some serious losses that many of us could not imagine. We also have Kiara's movement. For those that don't are not familiar with Kiara's movement, it was a 14-year-old young lady, or 14 or 15-year-old young girl who found herself in a situation where she ended up taking her own life as a young girl, taking her own life. Her family, in particular her sister, has been an advocate for mental health for our young people, the support for mental health for our young people. And I want to thank Tiana Piper for accepting the invitation because I can't imagine having to speak about my siblings' past as a child. She has a story. Her family have a reason and a passion to save the next young person's life. There are teenagers. There are teenagers. There are teenagers that are struggling with mental health issues. And we need to support these young so they can see themselves in a different light, different manner. Kiara's movement will be there. Let me just run on Youth Vision Promotions, we'll be there. And these are us that will have stalls and will have our exhibits and will have our tents. And Pauulu Heritage Institute will be there. As you already have heard, the Hill Development, he is a creative thinker. You know, as we saw just now, he came up with a thought and a plan. That's our next event because summertime's coming right after that. So we're gonna look to have, like I said, no, we're gonna look to have a double wicket cricket tournament on behalf of Neil Gibbons and Charlie Marshall. But this is exactly how creative one can be when they have the right conversations to save our young people's lives, to keep the heritage alive, to keep young people actually connected to their communities so they feel a part of their communities and not isolated in certain parts of their community. We have Dr. Genia Robinson Lubin, who is a praying warrior, and she prays to save people's lives. I remember when a young lady went missing in Bermuda recently, and there was, concern, island-wide search, and I remember Miss Lubin had called me or contacted me, and she said, "I'm having a praying, um, I'm getting in heavy tonight. I'm having a prayer meeting, and of course my time is different. So right now it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And so her meeting had started late, and I had missed it. I went to sleep, and she had a real praying, like she says, like I'm going in deep and pray. The next day, the young lady was found. The next day after Miss Lubin had prayed intensely, the young lady had been found. And in a spiritual person's world, that's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. So Miss Lubin is going to be there. And she's going to bring her passion as to why she does what she does. Why? And we need to connect with people that want to help. You don't want to help. If you don't want to be a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem. So Ms. Lubin is a part of the solution. We've also had the Women's Resource Center as a support group for women, for our ladies. They also, I believe, they do also support men, but because of the name, the stigma, and of it being solely supportive of women, and I think that that has expanded to men. So to get the information, what they do, you know, why they do what they do, what's their purpose, where are they even located? That information, that accessibility can save a woman's life. It can save a young girl's life if they need someone to talk because they are going through something that others may not understand. Our young ladies can see themselves in a different. If they have the support, if they have the right people to talk to, if they have the elders, because some of their environments are encouraging negativity. The environments are encouraging it. So we have that support group. Um, we have the Victory Kingdom Men's Group because, again, we want to help our young men to see and young ladies. So we just spoke about the Women's Resource Center. So Victory Kingdom, and I want to thank, well, let me thank Ms. Renee Crockwell from Women's Resource Center. They actually, I believe, they have an activity, an event on that day as well, but they will be supplying us with the materials and the resources and the accessibility that we need for our people in attendance. So I want to thank Ms. Renee Crockwell, who is obviously family and the love is strong and our passion for helping people is strong and our young people is strong. So that might be in our DNA. We also have Victory Kingdom's men's group. Victory Kingdom Church, which is headed up by Carlton Crockwell. And I want to thank Carlton as well for stepping forward and being very much inclusive and very much ready to serve. The Covenant Men's Group, which is headed up by Mr. Quincy Burgess. I want to thank Mr. Quincy Burgess. They are a support group for men They are very much spiritually grounded, and they are very much spiritually focused. So for anyone that needs to talk to someone that may not be involved in the ignorance, someone that can be on the other side of the ignorance, someone that you know has been well accomplished, not only in Bermuda, but also outside of Bermuda. And it talks about vision, and it talks about dreams, and speak to people who have lived out these dreams. It's possible, brothers and sisters. It's possible to live the life you want to live. It is possible, but you got to talk to people that are going to help you get there, not the people that's going to help you to stay where you are. The Bermuda College, initially they were a part of they were the venue, um, headed up by Mr. Lyndon Jackson. It was a group up there called May I Speak. I'm just gonna reach out. I'm just gonna run down the line of the others. We have the Reachers Group headed up by Dennis Braun. We are waiting to confirm back from them. They did initially say yes, but since we moved from Bermuda College, it may be a different story. So we are waiting to see if they are gonna participate in this event. We have the Imperial Group, which is headed up by Mr. Eugene Dean and Gladwin Simmons. Um, Again, they were part of it initially, so we want to see if they will still be willing and able to come along and showcase what it is that they do. They spoke about having a program that can save the young people that includes music, music production, entertainment. So, they said that they will be there. We had the meetings with Gladwin Simmons and Mr. Eugene Dean, who is the face of the group. So we hope that they'll be there. Reaches group led up by Dennis Braun. We hope that they'll be there. They have spoken about being there, which includes some brothers that have some testimonies and some stories that they use to encourage and inspire young people to actually make the right decisions. And so we have invited them. They said they'll be there. So we look forward to them being there. And it's one or two other groups. We've reached out to national security. We're waiting back to hear from them. But again, man, stop the ego. We may have to stop it, and we may have to empower one another. We see it being done with women in Bermuda. We see the empowerment seminars and workshops and forums and events again. The other day, Katrina, matter of fact, painter had a piece of carpet, a rare carpet, he on and called it a woman's empowerment walk. So, brothers, we need to learn to empower one another. We got to learn from that. We admire our women, we love women. There's of us that love women. And so we can learn from that. The next time we want to gossip with women about other men, stop and think about it. Think about what you're doing to another brother. Think about it. And let's ask our women, in spite of what you've been through, how do you empower one another? And keep on keeping on. Because we men can learn from that. We can learn how to empower and not divide and try to conquer. Because it holds us back as a people. It holds us back. It holds us back when we compete. So for all of this that we've invited to come out, if there's any reason why you don't want to come out, if there's a problem with Desmond, if there's a problem with other men, if there's a problem with this, swallow your pride. Swallow it. Swallow it. Swallow it. Because our children are killing each other. They don't care about whether Desmond and Dennis don't like each other. They don't care about whether Dennis and Damon don't like each other. They don't care about whether Iman and Desmond don't like each other. They don't care about whether June and Johnny don't like each other. They don't care about that. Who's gonna save them? Who's gonna save them? If we don't unite, who's going to save them? National security, we need to come together. If we're not, who's going to save them? We see them killing each other. Trevor Lindsay, I'm calling names up. We need to come together. Who's going to save them? You tried the barbershop thing, it didn't work. So why not unite? Let's collaborate. Who's going to save them? So we're inviting everyone that's a leader, that's put their name forward, that's put their faces forward, that's been, in the public's eye. We need to unite as men. Let it go. Whatever's stopping you from working with your next brother, let it go. Let it go. Because in other cultures, they don't care about not liking somebody. The white man works together, the Portuguese work together, the Indians work, the Chinese work, they all work together. Irregardless of whether they like you or not. Irregardless of what they heard about you and what type of car you got, what type of house you got, what you and your girlfriend went to, what you and your wife's going to, what you and your children's going to, what you and your mom. Nobody cares about that. How can we work together? What skills you have? that we can come together and utilize our skill to help our young. Next week, we're going to talk about the entertainers that will be there. We might not go this long, but tonight was definitely about the people, the exhibits, the, the workers in the community. They need to come together. Stop the envy, stop the jealousy, stop all the ignorance that's gonna procrastinate growth and progress. Stop it. Let's stop it. You know, and let's work together. Remember this: progress moves at the speed of trust. We're not progressing because we don't trust each other. We smile up in each other's faces, and this is leaders, us, men, leaders. We do this. We smile up in each other's faces, but we are diss each other behind each other's backs. Like what women that are gossiping about men. We're not women that gossip about men. We're men. We're men. And we need to uplift one another. We gotta let it go. Whatever's stopping us and dividing us, we gotta let it go. Because we have so much skills, so many skills, talents in Bermuda that we can save our young. Our young people have skills and talents that can be utilized to save those coming behind them. Stop teaching our children that intimidation got some respect, and start teaching our children education as well. Respect. Because once you reach a certain age, them youths coming behind you, they're not intimidated by you. They'll shoot you. Everybody that's been murdered in Bermuda has been murdered by somebody younger than you. No matter who you are, how big you are, how gangster you are, how bad you are, we've all seen it. The most gangster of the gangsters get murdered by people younger than you. Because intimidation don't work forever. And even us as adults, at a certain age, when we realize I should have got my education. Let's save our children's life. March 28th, Francis Patton, 12 to 6. We can do this. I want to thank everyone that's been a part of this. Specifically, I want to thank Diane's Legacy Productions for this song that they wrote. I reached out to the, I'm assuming it's director, Dr. Maria Seaman. I want to thank Dr. Seaman for giving us the okay to play this song. People, listen to this song as we got out. We're finished now. I want to thank everyone. See you next week. Listen to this song. This is us. This is Bermuda. Peace, everybody. Thank you to Iman for this platform. Thank you to our sponsors, Bermuda Community Foundation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are an isle of beauty, a paradise from you. It's beautiful, oh so nice. The waters are clear and aqua blue. The blues and greens are just for you. Yeah, the land is under stress. We are looking for God to bless. How do we heal and grow beyond the Bermuda on shore? For Bermuda we pray. Yeah. Yes, Bermuda our home. Oh. We pray for our people. To never more wrong. Bermuda. To their return to God. This is our prayer so true. God, our land, our home. Bermuda needs you. We must return to God. We must return to the way. Jesus the way and the truth. Jesus the way and the truth. Our Jesus is the light. God help Bermuda to see the true light of thee. We pray for our home. We intercede for Bermuda today. Bermuda we pray. Bermuda we pray. We pray. It's Bermuda our home. We pray for our people. To never more wrong. Bermuda, return to God. Oh, this is our prayer so true. God, our land, our home. Bermuda
From St. David's to Somerset, that's from the east to the west. We are praying for you. Through and through. Through and through.